Welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. This is your boy ALW. I am here for Aftermath of Dynamite, our weekly AEW Dynamite review. I'm going to be quickly reviewing Dynamite from earlier this week, June 19th, Wednesday, the 20 June 19th, 2024. Sorry, let me get that correct. Let's see. The show started off right into it. First match, no commercial, first commercial free match of the evening. Sorry, can't talk properly. MJF versus Roosh. This has been building for a couple weeks now. They had a little tete-a-tete last week and the week before. So here we get the match. Very solid match. Great opening match. Both guys are really solid wrestlers. This was a highly competitive back and forth. Both guys looked really good. MJF got the win, as he probably should. They push MJF as maybe the face of the company and definitely one of the best wrestlers in the company. So, and Roosh is there, but he's kind of at the top of um he's the very top of the mid card low main event. So um MJF should probably get the win here. Then backstage we had Mark Briscoe with Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Dante Martin. They're talking about how Dante Martin's going to join them for their match tonight. They have an all-star uh, eight-man tag match. And it was a solid, these guys are all decent talkers. Mark Briscoe was great. He got a little out there, um, as he should, but it was good. Orange Cassidy did his Orange Cassidy thing, um, and that was fine. Let's see. Went to commercial break. We came back. We had Will Ospreay come out to the ring, and hmm, he starts talking about. I know. He climbs in the ring, and then all of a sudden, Swerve's music hits. Swerve comes out with Prince Nana. The two of them state their cases face to face in the ring. Swerve goes too far by mentioning Osprey's kids. Osprey gets a little frustrated, finally leaves, and then decides to turn around and runs back and gets in his face and says, "Don't you ever mention my kids," or something to that effect. And so this was good. This is building to Forbidden Door. Osprey will be challenging Swerve for the AEW World Championship at Forbidden Door, which should be a solid match. And this is good build to that. I thought they did a good job keeping their hands off of each other for the most part. Keeping their hands off of each other. They didn't put hands on each other. The promo battle could have been a little bit better back and forth, but it was solid. Both guys are good talkers, and I thought it worked out well. Let's see. Then we head to a commercial break. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Before that, we get backstage, and the Callis family. They're talking about how they're being disrespected. Um, by the comments that Osprey made. Um, and so then we need to do a commercial break. We're back. We are in our eight-man tag match. Orange Cassidy, Dante Martin, Kyle O'Reilly, and Mark Briscoe versus Roderick Strong, Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita, and Zack Sabre Jr. Eight guys that can all really wrestle. Very solid match here. Lots of back and forth action, as you would imagine, with eight guys that can really go. Lots of near pinfalls, lots of very solid high flying, high speed action, lots of good um, mat wrestling with Kyle O'Reilly. We get the technical side. We get the wild side with Mark Briscoe and everything he brings to a match. This was really solid. Orange Cassidy got the win with the orange punch. Jack Perry came out after the match and knocks out Dante Martin on the ramp. And Briscoe and Takeshita brawled the back. Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. end up face to face in the ring. It's going to be, I think this is going to be ongoing here for a minute. I think that this is going to. I mean, it could potentially be setting up a blood and guts of some sort. These two four-man teams would be really good in that setup. So I don't know. I enjoyed this. I thought this was really good. This is a really, really solid episode of Dynamite. I thought all eight of these guys performed really well here, and I enjoyed the match a lot. Then we have Don Callis approaching Roosh. Um, and he says something in Spanish. We don't know exactly what it is. Then we get a Mercedes Monet package where she's promoting champion versus champion showdown against Stephanie Vicaire at Forbidden Door, which should be amazing. Um, so Mercedes was solid here, and this match is great. Again, building up to Forbidden Door, truly appreciated it and enjoyed it. Then we had the AEW Tag Team Championship Eliminator Bucks versus the Acclaimed. Really solid match. Again, this Dynamite, great wrestling show. The wrestling was very solid, very wrestling heavy on this show, which I enjoyed. We got to see a lot of solid wrestling. The Acclaimed got the win here, in a surprise. So they'll get a shot at the Bucks for the titles because it was an eliminator match. Um, Bowens locked the EVP trigger. He kicked out of a huge move. I forget what it was. I forget what move it was. It wasn't the Melter driver. It was something else. But where they definitely thought that where it looked like the Bucks had the win, and he kicked out. Um, Bucks are great. This is, they're in their bag right now as EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. I'm glad to see the Acclaim get the win here. I want to see the Acclaim warmed back up. I think they're one of the better tag teams in AEW when it's just Caster and Bowens. So I like that. I think they kind of not got cooled down, but they're weird. They've been weird over their time. They've been up and down at different times, and right now they seem to want to push them back up again, which is good. Warm them back up. I'm here for that. So, the Acclaimed with the big win. Backstage, we had Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. I'm loving this faction trio, whatever you want to call them. Um, Samoa Joe gives them a little advice before they go and attack the premier athletes. He busts through the door, but no one is there. They see a note for a challenge to a 3-on-3 fight this weekend. Joe asks if they're ready for a fight, and this will happen on Collision. So we will get Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata versus Josh Woods, Tony Nese, and Avari, yes, Davari, Arya Davari. Sorry, I couldn't think of his first name. I couldn't say his first name correctly. Arya Davari on Collision this week. So I'm excited for that. It should be fun. I like both of these trios. So again, should be fun. Next, we had Mariah May in the ring, and there's a table and two chairs. She's going to have Shirakawa and Tony Storm come down and sign their contract, signing for Forbidden Door. This was fun. The crowd liked Mina. The crowd loves Tony Storm. This is, I thought this was really good. Tony Storm at one point said she's tired of this and is going to walk away. Then Anna Jay comes down. Anna Jay, oh no, I'm sorry, Mina Shirakawa said she's tired of this, she's going to walk away. She climbs out of the ring. She's at ringside. Anna Jay shows up out of nowhere and attacks her and beats her down. Ultimately, Anna Jay ends up leaving with Tony Storm and no, I'm sorry, with Saraya. I apologize. Saraya and Harley Cameron came down first, and then they distracted them. They distracted. They didn't distract. They got involved in the contract signing. They started talking shit. Blah blah blah. Mina said she was tired of this. Left the ring. Then Anna Jay came out, attacked her. Anna Jay left with Harley Cameron and Saraya. I don't know if they're now grouped together or not, but we will ultimately see. this was, I'm not a big fan of contract signings. Glad it wasn't the main event. I didn't think it was terrible. Uh, but again, it is what it is when it's a contract signing. I'm here for Shirakawa versus Tony Storm. It should be really good at Forbidden Door 2. Mariah May, Tony Storm, or Marina Shirakawa told Mariah May she has to make a choice. But before she could choose, that's when Saraya came out. So ultimately, Mariah is going to have to make a choice, and I'm sure she'll make that choice in Forbidden Door by attacking one or the other, either Tony Storm or Mina Shirakawa, giving the other one the win. Then we had our Owen Hart tournament match. Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose in a very solid match. Chris Statlander advances and gets the win in a pretty big win. I mean, Nyla Rose is a former AEW World Champion, which is something that whatchamacallit has not held yet. Chris Statlander. So this is a big win. Nyla Rose is a very solid wrestler, and for Chris to get this win here, it's a big deal. So she advances on in the tournament in the Women's Owen Hart Cup. Then we have backstage we have Private Party who sends a message to the Learning Tree. And then Chris Jericho and Big Bill approach them and they exchange words. We're going to get Private Party, I assume, versus Jericho and Big Bill, or Brian Keith and Big Bill at some point. Then we're back in the arena. The theme for Daniel Garcia hits. He comes out. Daddy Magic settles in as our guest on commentary. Rhett Titus's opponent, he's already in the ring. Rhett jumps him right away, no time wasted. Garcia takes over. Daniel Garcia ultimately gets the win in this match. Let's After the match, Brian Cage negates an agony and Hechicero attack and beat down Matt Menard and Garcia. And then MJF comes out to save them. And it looks like we're going to get MJF and Hechicero at Forbidden Door, which should be good. Ultimately, the numbers games catch up to MJF, so he gets gobbled up and beat down. And Hechicero gets him in an armbar, tries to break his arm, and then your AEW International Champion comes out, Will Ospreay, to make the save and help MJF. Kind of a weird spot here. I'm not totally sure why Will Ospreay is helping MJF, but okay. MJF cleans house, and they do MJF and Will Ospreay stand back to back with their fists raised and yell shit chant. And this was solid, very good spot. I really enjoyed all of this together. I'm not totally sure what it all means. Hechicero versus MJF at Forbidden Door 2 should be insane. I'm here for that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all this ends up playing out. Then we had an opening match in the Owen Hart tournament for the men. This was our main event. It was Claudio versus Pac in an amazing match. This match shows you why both these guys are at that main event level. I miss Pac for so long. He comes and goes, and he's been gone probably more than he's been here, ultimately for his time in AEW, and it is great when he is around. Him and Claudio exchanged a lot of strikes, a lot of good fast-paced action, and then slowed it down and had a lot of mat wrestling exchanges that were really good. Exchanged 2 counts over and over again, and ultimately Pat gets the win out of nowhere with a crucifix pin as they were going back and forth, exchanging 2 counts and close falls. Amazing match again. Great show. Very solid Dynamite. One of the better ones in recent months. They've all been good, but this is really good. Very wrestling heavy. Not a bad match on the card. I don't think there was really a bad segment on the show either. So I really enjoyed all of it. I don't have any complaints. So this is really good. All of this building up to Forbidden Door 2. So yeah, very good show, and I truly enjoyed it. So I would call this one definitely front of the pack. Um, as we like to do here at Workhorse Wrestling Network. So make sure and tune in later tonight for Friday Night Fights. Sammy, Joe, and Anika will be watching SmackDown and Rampage live, giving you real-time reactions and opinions and responses to what's happening. Make sure and tune in Saturday for our Saturday Night Is All Right AEW Collision Watch Along. Always tune in on Sundays for End of the Square Circle, Mondays for Seeing Stars, Tuesday for the Cookout, and then back again on Fridays and Saturdays, as I just described before. Also, check out our short reviews of Monday Night Raw, NXT, and this one, Dynamite. Actually, we did All for Naught this week, so there aren't short reviews this week. There is an episode of All for Naught, so make sure and check that out. That was live last night. As always, if you're new checking this out, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on this video. It really helps a lot. Hit the bell to be notified. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for joining us at Workhorse Wrestling Network. And until next time, peace.